Hold on, what's going on?
AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.
Yeah. Fabian PerspecTV. Knicks Rehab, baby. AllBall. In the mix. Dimedropper.
Hey, man, we in the building. Happy Memorial Day to everybody. Me and my brother said we're going to take time out from the holiday. I said, let's do 30 minutes. Let's give the people some content, some good Knicks talk. And we're going to talk a little bit about Kyrie and the Dallas Mavericks. But happy holidays to everyone.
Happy holidays indeed. Hope you enjoying barbecuing and getting it all together. Danny Berry in the mix. Always love when you in the building. It makes me feel at home, Danny Berry, because you over here, pow. You shoot right away. Big Knicks on our mind, of course. Like AllBall just mentioned, we got to give the people what they want. Isaiah Hartenstein. Big bag coming up, apparently, AllBall. Let me throw that up there real quick. The latest. Isaiah Hartenstein. Major deal, according to SportsIllustrated.com. This is Jeremy Brenner writing this article. The Knicks have a decision to make in regards to Isaiah Hartenstein's free agency. But they have predicted that it's going to be an $18 million per year deal. Bleacher Report writes that the New York Knicks can offer Hartenstein a maximum contract of $72 million, which rounds out to a little more than $18 million per year. However, a team needing a center can come in and offer a term deal for around the same amount of money, and that would allow him to cash back in free agency in his late 20s. I want to look back. There was something else that I saw that it was more concrete, because that didn't sound concrete. That sounded like they were guessing, and that was from 3 days ago, that article.
Right.
I don't appreciate that. You are a part of one of those. Oh, so maybe this guy got it both wrong. Either way, that seems to be the roundabout thing. $20 million a year, the most are going to give, or $18 million per year. AllBall. Think that's too much? Think that's too little? What you think?
Here we go. It's too much.
Wow.
And I'm gonna tell you why. This is the problem our Knicks have. We have a lot of our great players on friendly contracts. What is Jalen Brunson getting right now?
Very friendly. 25 per.
Right. So you telling me Brunson getting 25, Hartenstein's gonna get 20? I mean, I know it's messed up, but I'm gonna be honest. Hartenstein disappointed me in the Philadelphia series. It was almost like he couldn't stay on the floor. So I'm saying to myself, if we match up against Giannis, if we match up against Bam Adebayo, we match up against Porzingis, is Hartenstein going to be able to hold his own? Listen, man, I like Hartenstein. But for me, 20 is too much. I think Flea was saying it. If we could get him for about 17 and a half, then yes. But I'm not giving Hartenstein 20. I'm sorry. He doesn't do enough for me. I'm sorry. He came real small a lot of times. Yes, you know, I love him as a player, as a person. You know, if he wants to be here, that's a plus. But we can't overpay nobody at this point, man. No. That's too much for Hartenstein. I'm sorry. Now, if he was knocking down 3-point shots, like if he was 3-point shots a game, or he was at least where you got to guard him out there, then yes. But it's very rare you're going to get 10 to 14 points from him. Now, his effort, his determination, I get it. But it was times where he couldn't even stay on the floor. As too many times I watch him gave up on plays and he'll just fire you across your arm. Does a lot of bonehead stuff on the court. So as much as I love Hartenstein, I don't know if I'm giving him 20 a year. I'm sorry. I can't give him that. Josh Hart is at that number. Josh Hart does way more than Hartenstein. So for me, I'm looking at it like that. I understand a lot of our guys is on friendly contracts, but I cannot overpay you when you're not doing as much as the other guys. I'm sorry. That's too much. That's too much. And that's business, man. I'm sorry. I love Hartenstein. I love all our guys. If we could keep them all, I wish we could. But we can't revert back to the same old Knicks. I'm not overpaying Hartenstein. I would overpay Brunson. I may even overpay Josh Hart. But there's nobody else I'm overpaying. I'm sorry. DiVincenzo, listen, a lot of them guys had opportunities to step up big. We should not have lost game 7 at home. I'm sorry. I don't care about the injuries. I don't care about none of that. At home in the Garden to go to the Eastern Conference Finals as a 2 seed, we came up short. I'm sorry. And Jalen Brunson held it down all year, and we needed our guys to hold it down one game, and they couldn't do that for him. So for me, that rubbed me the wrong way a little bit. But I would love Hartenstein if we can keep him at maybe 17 and a half. But I'm not giving him 20. No, I'm not. No.
I'm seeing other reports here. It's 4 years between 60 and 70 million. So that's anywhere between 15 and 18.
Right, exactly.
That's suitable, especially with the contracts about to go up for everybody. So there's a lot of money coming along, but
hold on, you got to look at, like, prime example. Look at the 2 young dudes in Dallas. Look at what they bring to the table. Look at a lot of the big men that what they bring to the table. I love Hartenstein, but he's not a great defender. He's not a great shot blocker. Nobody is scared of him. He's not rolling to the basket, getting 3 to 5 alley-oops. He's not changing the, like, nah, I love Hartenstein, but no, I cannot give him 20. Now, that deal you just said between 15 and 18, cool. But anything over that, I'm sorry, we may have to let him walk.
So I'm confused with you, Sherwin, because you seem like you agree with this. Good night, all. He's an awful one-on-one defender. I'm signing and trading iHeart if I can. So how's AllBall not living on this planet if he's breaking down? You brought me back to reality. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, remember, I'm the one that said, "Hey, you Tibbs, you don't see this guy can't guard Embiid. What the hell are you doing? Bench him. Start
Bro,
Mitch. Start with you."
when we play Indiana, and I watch Miles Turner hit 3 threes in a row, and Hartenstein was looking like he was in space. It's like, yo, bro, what's going on? So, like I said, man, I'm not big shot at Hartenstein. Get as much money as you can, but I'm not giving him 20. No.
Because we could have won Game 7 if he was getting $20 million plus a year. That's a guy that makes $20 million plus a year. They fill in for and make up for what Jalen Brunson and everybody else is missing. Of course, I think he showed that little left-handed floater that Brunson was able to, assist him on. There's nothing else added. Like he's not an offensive threat or a scoring threat. Not enough of it to create everything else for us. So to say that he's a legit starter, he's not starting on every team in this league. So what he did for us was amazing. Like, and these are the times when people start taking things personal and they get offended by the reality of things. Because every point you just made, it's grounding us back to earth. Bro, he's not a starter. Mitchell Robinson, the only reason why Mitchell Robinson isn't a starter is because of health, period. There's no way you can say Hartenstein dominates a game day in, day out like Mitchell Robinson. It's just not. It's not the case. Defensively, he shows lapses. He had the game-winning block on Tyrese Maxey in Game 2 at the Garden. Of course, we want to give him his props when it's due. A bunch of block, 25 minutes a game this season, if I'm not mistaken, is a career high. It was at 8. It was at 8. I'm sorry, I had this website open. I just started playing out of nowhere. He just there's too many times, especially with the Indiana series. At home, he went bananas in game 6 when we came back home, or game 5? No, game 5 game 7 was at the Garden. So game 5, he played great, 20 rebounds or whatever it was. But he did that thing where what they talk about role players, when they're on the road, they play differently. But at home, they show up. So you can't be a legit guy like that and giving over $20 million and play like a role player. Can't have that. We can't have that. And it's a nice fit. You're serviceable for someone who's supposed to be filling in for somebody else, which is exactly what you did. And you did it perfectly. He did it perfectly.
Yeah.
But time ran out. Like, that's the problem with what we were doing. We were overachieving because we lost all our guys.
Well, let me ask the chat. Big shout out everybody in the comments. And get Flea in the building. I just seen his text. Like, damn, 30 minutes, bro. Get him in the building. But let me ask everyone in the comments a question. Mitchell Robinson comes back fully healthy. Who's starting? You understand what I'm saying? Mitchell Robinson comes back fully healthy. Who's starting? It's going to be Mitchell Robinson. So now we got Hartenstein coming off the bench, and we're giving him 20 a year. Listen, it's not personal. I'm a big fan of Hartenstein. But once again, he doesn't do enough to get that on a consistent basis. I'm sorry. It's too many times where he don't even look for a shot. It's too many, it's just too much. And like I said, if Mitchell Robinson didn't play in that Philadelphia series and he was hobbled, we don't win that series. Hartenstein couldn't stay on the floor. In one quarter, he committed 5 fouls. In one quarter.
It was crazy. It was crazy.
So we have to be realistic with our Knicks. We are in a very dangerous space right now where we can keep going like this, we can stay like this, or we can start doing this. We have to be very careful. And how many times have I been saying it? You cannot continue to let Josh Hart get all the rebounds. You cannot. Big Flea, what up, Flea?
Yo, my brothers, what's up? Pardon my tardiness.
All
what's
good.
Up?
So I was Flea, I was agreeing with you saying that for me, I'm not giving Hartenstein 20 million. I would love to get him in that 15 to 18, maybe 17 and a half.
Mm-hmm.
But 20, I'm sorry, I'm not giving him that, Flea.
Yeah.
Please, your opinion.
I saw the potential deal that we're gonna offer him. 4 years, 72 and a half. That's roughly 18.1 or something like that. So slightly over 18 million. I'm comfortable somewhere around there. But when we start getting into the range of 20, 22, 25, right? Somebody's going to overpay to pull him away from us. So he's going to get big money. I just don't want to be paying a potential backup almost 20 to 25 million dollars a year. I don't think that that's smart. I think that could jam us up long term. And he's a fringe starter, right? Like, he's not a bona fide starting center in this league, right? I can name a few teams that he could start for, but I could also name a few teams that if he goes there, he's going to come off the bench. He's not going to be the guy that you look for to, be your 5-man, rim protect, rebound the basketball over 10 plus rebounds a night, defend. You saw he struggled against Embiid, struggled bad, right? We missed, I think AllBall was saying it, if we don't have Mitchell Robinson for a portion of that series against Philly, we don't win. We don't win. We needed his production. So I'm not comfortable with overpaying Hartenstein just to keep him away from other teams. If they got to break the bank to go get him, go ahead.
The only way I think Hartenstein could be in that 20 million range if he was knocking down a 3-point shot. To me, that's the only way that would happen, is if he's good for 2-3 threes a game and he's respectable out there where you got to at least contest him, but he don't even look for his shot. So for me, I agree, Flea. And, us as Knicks fans, we have to be patient. We cannot do the things that we've done years. Overpay guys, jump out the window, panic, go get a star, superstar, and overpay him. No, we just have to be patient. We have our core, DiVincenzo, Hart, Brunson, hopefully OG, Randall. So just to piggyback, if we can get him 15 to maybe 18, I'm fine with that. Anything over that, I'm sorry. He gotta let him walk. Gotta let him walk.
Mm-hmm.
I like what you said, or both of you guys just said, because I don't expect him to shoot 3-pointers all of a sudden. But what you do is play the type of defense that you do, and then the rebounding. If you're going to be that guy, you got to get 12, 15 rebounds a game and just flat out dominate and be a presence against anybody. Then you could start commanding, because that's what I mean. Mitchell Robinson doesn't average 12, 14 rebounds a game, but it's damn near Moses Malone-like numbers for the offensive rebounding. He's limited, we know that, but it's dominating. So I don't expect him to get 20 million a year either. You know what I'm saying? So if he's that much of a chess piece, Mitchell Robinson is, that's tough for you to even command as much money. So yeah, I agree. I think this is unanimous.
Hold on, but hold on. I just now this is where it get tricky. I'm paying Mitchell Robinson more than Hartenstein. I think Mitchell Robinson defensively makes a difference. What he did with Embiid, Habu, was the difference in that series. What he does on the offensive rebounding and just rebounding and his presence. Like I said, I'm not saying you overpay for Mitchell Robinson, but I have no problem if we had to give one of the two 19-20. I have no problem giving it to Mitchell Robinson because I seen what he can do. Mitchell Robinson is a legit starting center in the NBA because of what he can do in the defensive end and his offensive rebounding. Like Fleet said, Hartenstein is not a definitive starter in the NBA. I'm sorry. Of course, if we go in Joker, Giannis, AD, Embiid, of course you're not going to start Mitchell over them guys. But a lot of them other guys, Mitchell could get a starting job. So I have no problem giving Mitchell maybe 19-20 instead of Hartenstein if we're going to, do it like that. I have no problem with that.
I have a problem with Mitch because for the last 3 seasons I've watched Mitch get hurt.
Yes,
I've watched Mitch get hurt for the last 3 to 4 seasons.
Agreed.
Even the season that we went into the playoffs playing Atlanta, a big reason why we weren't successful against them. Obviously, Julius didn't shoot well, but Mitch was non-existent for that series. So I'm watching a pattern of this guy's. It's something with his base. Like I don't know if he has to get a stronger base, but it's always the lower extremities with this dude. Ankles, knees, this, that, always that. And again, some are freak accidents and some may be due to he's not kind of taking care of his body. But there got to be cause for pause when you're looking at Mitchell Robinson too. I watched Hartenstein do what he did for us. And as much as we're talking about whether we should pay him or not, the guy was available, right? That's a big thing, especially when it came to this Knicks team this year. Who was available? Who wasn't? If you were available, you were part of this journey, helping us get to where we got to. So I think the center position is something we got some questions to answer for sure with both of them, right? Or, do you completely go in a different direction, let Hartenstein go and trade Mitch? Like there's options that you could think about now because for what Hartenstein did, I could find that in a draft. I could find that. There's some Derek Lively's out there. I'm gonna be honest. What Derek Lively does, there's guys out there that could do that, for us.
I disagree with that.
Oh
no,
I could replace Hartenstein, what Hartenstein does.
We could replace Hartenstein, but I don't think Derek Lively is a dime a dozen. I think when you I don't want to veer off here yet. We'll talk about that later. But that's you can hit it on the nail with you compared him to big man, the one defensive player of the year with
Tyson Chandler.
Hartenstein ain't no damn Tyson Chandler.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like this ain't to your point, Hartenstein is way more replaceable because again, we know what his game is: dribble hand over the top of the key. He has to bail out Brunson. He's the best, second best passer. Who's the best passer on the Knicks right now?
I mean,
it might be Hartenstein.
we rarely, we rarely do that. So I couldn't even tell you.
I would say the best passer. Oof.
I've seen Brunson make good passes. I've seen Hartenstein make good passes, but like just on a consistent basis.
It's a natural passer. I don't think anybody on the team
exactly
possesses that. Where I'm looking at them and like, damn, he's a hell of a passer. I don't think nobody off our roster. When Julius has it going, he's not a bad passer. I would say that. He's not a bad. See, yeah, I would say that. When Julius has it going, I think he's one of our better passers.
I don't think anybody makes better reads than Hartenstein on the team, and I don't think anybody makes better passes. Me personally, that's the first thing I noticed when he got here, and the fact that they did what Nick Nurse did for Embiid. Hartenstein was playing around too much in the paint early on in November when he first got here of the previous season, his first season with the Knicks. Then Thibodeau pushed him to the top of the key, and that's where he kind of unlocked this guy. And we see what Randall should be doing when he comes back. But that is his chip that he got. Mitchell Robinson doesn't have that, and just offensively, that's where his strength is, because it ain't offensive rebounding like Mitchell Robinson. The thing about Mitchell Robinson making $20 million a year was crazy. His contract right now is he was making 17. He made 15 this year. Next year he'll be making 14, and after that he'll be making 13. He has like the reverse balloon effect of a contract, and I just noticed Brunson's contract is like that, where they make less as the years go on. So, that's the Leon Rose being an agent before is kicking in with that one.
Right.
I don't know if Mitchell Robinson making 18, 20 million a year, if I feel comfortable with that, because he might miss 20% of the year of the season, and then on top of that, it's limited, bro. Like, we missed him in the playoffs too. He wasn't here. Hartenstein played in the playoffs.
Well, just real quick, Fleet. That's a great point. I can't even argue that. But if we're gonna say that, Fleet broke it down, I think yesterday, the other day. We could say that for OG. We could say that for Julius Randle. We have a major problem. We have guys that are injury prone. I'm just saying, my point is, if we got to choose out of the two to overpay, I'd rather overpay Mitchell Robinson, because I've seen when he was semi-healthy, the difference he made in that Philadelphia series. So once again, do I want to overpay anybody? No. But if you're giving me a choice from either one of, Hartenstein or Mitch, it'd be Mitch. But, I agree with both of y'all. I don't want to overpay either one, knowing that he's injury prone. But like I said, I'd rather take Mitch over Hartenstein any day.
Yeah, I think we also got to remember too, fellas, that the going rate for a big going forward may be that $18 to $20 million range for a serviceable big man that's gonna come rebound, potentially rim protect. Maybe like the guys that could step out, stretch the floor, hit a three, all that type of shit. That's when the dollars start increasing, like you
30,
said,
35, and
right?
all that.
That's when the dollars start increasing for that position. Like, guys that are gonna make 20 to 25 million, you better be able to stretch the floor. You better be able to double-digit rebound. You better be able to, you know what I mean? Like, that's those guys is gonna make the big dollars at that position. But we gotta start looking at it like maybe we gotta close one eye and pay and just and go from there and just let the chips fall where they may. Like, what's the worst case scenario? We lose out on Hartenstein and we trade Mitch. So how do we replace that 5 position? Only other big right now, right, that was out there that I saw is Claxton. That's the only other one right now that I saw that does some of the similar things that would be a positive for us. He looks like a guy that could fit into what we do. After that, I don't see any other guys that we could flirt with trying to say, okay, we could let these two guys walk. I saw somebody else say, maybe we could potentially sign Drummond. Drummond's going to do the same things that a lot of our guys do, and he's going to rebound the ball. So, we don't have a bunch of options to be looking at Mitch and Hartenstein like, hey, y'all take some team-friendly deals because, if y'all don't, we're going to look elsewhere. Our options may not be that big.
I was trying to think of some guys you were describing, like a 3-and-D big. Miles Turner makes $20 million a year this season, and the next season he'll make 19. That's gonna go up, right? How much do you think he'll make? How much do you think he'll command in the free agent market?
Probably 30.
25.
30 a year?
Yeah, bro. Listen, when you could stretch the floor, listen, we see what the game is. Whether we like it or not. If you could knock the 3-point shot down, that's what's getting you the money. We lucky Hartenstein and Mitch is not one of those. You get what I'm saying, Flea? We lucky.
I do.
We lucky.
Good.
Yeah, man. So it's a gift and a curse that we lucky, but at the same time, it may help our ball club. But those big guys that can stretch the floor, that can knock down a 3 at the high 30%, low 40% rate, bruh, listen, that opens up the floor. That opens up the floor. So, yeah, I think a guy like Miles Turner, his next contract, he's easily going to get 30. You can't deny that.
I like what Sherwin is saying here. No, fellows, the NBA is changing the rules. A defensive big will become a premium in the next 2 years within the rule changes.
I got to see it first. I got to see what that looks like. I got to see how they call the game. I got to see. Give me a season.
Hey, Flea, I guarantee y'all, I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, go ahead.
I guarantee y'all, you will never see another big contract for Rudy Gobert in a long time. If you can't knock down a 3-point shot or be some type of threat on the offensive end, you will not see that again. So I understand what he's saying. But, bruh, these GMs, these coaches, these owners, like I said, they want guys that can knock down a 3. What's my guy with the Clippers? And I like him over there.
Who? Zubac?
Zubac. As good as Zubac is, he going to always not get the real bag because he can't knock down a 3. And he's tough defensively, and he going to get them boards, and he physical. But because he can't knock down a 3 and he's not an offensive threat, that's the money he's going to miss out on. So miss me with that. It's a reason Embiid, them guys is shooting all them 3s.
Yeah, I don't
know what's the clickbait. I'm sorry.
I don't know what the hell he's talking about. Anyway, yeah, no, not you, OG. There was some weird comments.
Yeah, all good.
Yeah. No, yeah, I have to see that for a year. I have to see how the landscape of the league looks when they do make a right turn and start changing how they call the games, especially for bigs. So big shout out to Sherwin for dropping that in the chat and giving us some of that feedback. Absolutely, we love it. I'm just a guy that I know when they change the game on how perimeter guys can defend. Right, it went from being able to put your hand to hand, literally hand check. Then it went to the arm bar. Now it's you literally can't touch and you got to slide your feet. That's what's going to determine if you can stay in front of guys or if you can't. And most guys don't want to do that. So I'm just saying I want to see how they allow bigs to be big men, right? How do they allow them to do that again in today's NBA? I'm curious. So before I jump out there and say, a defensive big man is going to be an asset on a team, I would need to see. I would like to have an semblance of Mitchell Robinson, Isaiah Hartenstein, some kind of player like that, so that I could take a look and see, okay, how are they going to allow bigs to defend, roll to the rim, play in the paint, all that kind of stuff before I say, oh, go get me a Ben Wallace, right? Like, I need to see how it looks first.
So I think even with what you just said with Zubac, I think the emergence of the kid Zach Edey in college, right? Again, I don't watch college ball, but I know he made the championship over there.
Kid from Purdue.
From Purdue.
That's not going to happen this year again. You're watching college basketball this coming season. So You're not gonna. I don't want to hear that no more. I don't watch college ball. That's not happening no more. Keep going.
Flea with this the fatherly Flea. I'm sorry. Flea. But you brought me back to earth because it's like, yeah, that may happen. Joker, Wemby, and Embiid. You still got a lot of big guys up here. Giannis.
Bam.
You still need weight. Nah, Bam ain't not a 7-foot guy that would lead the like Bam in the night. I'm thinking in the 90s, Bam would be a 4, maybe a 3.
Right. He just plays bigger is what I mean. Like Bam is a guy that plays bigger than what's Bam? 6'9"? Maybe 6'10"? Maybe.
Right.
I say 6'8".
Right. Like he just plays bigger than what he is.
But the other guys, I think this is what they like. That's a projection. Joker, Wemby, these guys are going to come into the league and just take over. And the league has to change because we saw it with Shaq. The rules changed and the league was stuck for a couple, like 6 or 7 years with those kind of players. You had 2 or 3 guys on the bench that had to guard them. They didn't really play much. They weren't so super skilled. That's why what you just said was perfect and should not be overlooked, Flea. I got to see it first. Let me see that first. And then Hartenstein got to get more money. Mitchell Robinson got to get more money because you got to take on those bodies. So that's what makes this harder. I would love to. Now I know for a fact if we're having this conversation, there's no way Leon Rose and West and them are sitting down like, oh damn, this is a tough decision to make because we love these guys. Mitchell Robinson rolled with us. He grew with them. Hartenstein grew with them as well. I mean, that's the other thing. You can always play that chip. Like, remember, you get whatever money you want out there, fellas, but you got your name here. Like, you family forever. We made sure we kept our end of the bargain and then some. Like, this is Hartenstein's name is way bigger than ever before. Mitchell Robinson, your name is out there bigger than ever before. And just talk to Jalen Brunson about that.
They'll laugh at us historically because they always want to find us the butt of the joke. But the 2023-2024 Knicks team is going to be remembered for a very long time.
It's going down in history.
This past season, this is a very, very memorable season, especially for diehard Knicks fans like us. There's plenty of us out there. Just us three, we just mesh so well. But there's plenty of guys that feel the way we feel about the New York Knicks. We're going to remember this past season for a very long time with what, everybody did for us.
Let me say this. I said this a while ago, right? And let me just show you how I don't want to say unimportant, but not as important if you're a big man and you can't stretch the floor. I've been saying this for a while. The most important position in the NBA is the 3-and-D guy. Simple and plain. Look at the difference PJ Washington made in Dallas. Look at the difference OG made for us. If you go through the last however many years of champions, it was a 3-and-D guy that made a difference, even going back to Denver with Bruce Brown. Once again, the big man is very important. But if you can't stretch the floor, you need that 3-and-D guy. So for us, we have 2 big men that are not talented offensively. They don't shoot the 3. They're not a threat offensively. You're not even throwing them the ball in the post to make a move. Listen, man, we got a little light problem. And I can't overpay for that, Flea. I'm sorry.
So let me ask you a question. There's only about 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 bigs in the league right now that are like dominant. I know y'all would agree with Joker. I'm sure you would agree with Embiid, AD when he's on his game. After that, we start like reaching. I mentioned Bam. I have a lot of respect for Bam. So Bam's an all-star. So maybe you throw Bam in there. Now I'm reaching. Now I'm reaching for guys to put in there. But my point is that we need some type of offensive output from our big man position. How many teams get away with not being able to put your guy in pick and roll and be a lob threat, right? How many teams can get away with you just being strictly a guy that's going to be a screen setter? And like, you can't get away with just having a Steven Adams on your team.
Exactly. That don't work no more.
Yeah, you just can't get away with that, right? Even I'm looking at this Dallas team. right? And the two bigs that they split minutes with, yeah, you're not dumping the ball down to them and saying, hey, go get a bucket for me. But in space, in a situation where they doing a dribble handoff and they roll into the rim, or they going back uphill and giving a handoff and be able to have that roll, Hartenstein's not doing that, right? Mitch gets in that position sometimes, but I gotta see him on the floor. Gafford looks amazing. Lively looks amazing. That's what I'm saying. Those are the type of bigs. If we don't have a big that can stretch it, we need something like that. And I think we could find one in the draft, but where are we going to get one right now in the NBA is what I'm saying.
Well, out of nowhere from the Raptors, like this was old school WCW, dropping from the Raptors is Sting, a.k.a. Dime Dropper from the West Coast.
Look who's in the building.
Are you kidding me?
D-Man.
Oh, man.
The dropper.
D-Man.
We changed the background. It says the four sportsmen.
Big Dom.
Back in the building.
I got the funny backgrounds now.
Nah. Dropping from the Raptors is crazy. What up, Dom?
Crazy.
What's good, guys? You guys ready for this game?
Yeah, right.
Man.
Wish I would waste my time. I turn back and forth. I ain't doing that to myself.
Hey, at least the Western Conference, though, has been entertaining, even though it's 3-0.
Yeah, but it's still good games.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, this again. I keep telling you on this channel, we work like Professor X, man. Yep. Speaking of the West Coast games, I gotta start off with this, Flea, and I'm here for it, Flea. Dime, I don't know where we finished the live yesterday, right? And I don't know where I'm at work. Who calls me on FaceTime giggling because of the Dallas Mavericks game? So let's get into it. And don't hold back, Flea.
I'm not, please. OG, we had him pissed last night. He didn't want to get on the phone. He was pissed.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I
remember my take. I hope y'all remember. Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna pussy put around the Flea. Does Fabian PerspecTV owe Kyrie Irving an apology?
Absolutely. 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 You owe him a nice written apology, handwritten, black ink. You know what I'm saying? Proofread your shit, fold it up. You need to mail that shit to him. Snail mail, old school style. Let him receive it in the mail. Nice stamp. You need a Black History stamp on there too. Make it even better. You need a Jackie Robinson stamp on that motherfucker. That's what you need. Fact. That's what you need.
Hey, but Fabian, you were right though. Remember, you were the one that was saying that Dallas.
No, wait, Don. Hold on, Don. Before we get there, I have to take my ass whooping. I was wrong first, and I was trying to be slick about it, and I thought about it, and these guys giggly ass all ball last night. You should have seen his face. Kicking it up.
Listen.
Dom. Let them, because all ball thinks he's slick too. But
it was crazy last night.
For a guy that's used to always apologizing, and now I get to see somebody else apologize. Please, I'm gonna just be real brief. All I'm gonna say is this: when we started talking about when we did our seedings, I don't remember what y'all said. I remember what I said. I said Dallas is the most dangerous team in the NBA. I think I had them the 5th seed or something like that.
You did.
But November 17th, 2023, I posted a picture of Kyrie and Luka Doncic, and I said verbatim, this is the most dangerous team in the NBA. If they get any help, the NBA has a problem. They will be the best team in the NBA. The help they got is PJ Washington. And if you see the comments, I got roasted. And now look today. I'm gonna be light because that's my brother.
No, don't be light. Don't be light.
No. I'm boasting about myself. I ain't even worrying about you. But because what's gonna happen is when Dallas goes to the championship, there's gonna be a whole lot of Kyrie bandwagons There's going to be now Luka better than Larry Bird. There's going to be a lot of I told you so's. I have my receipts. Instagram page, go all the way down November 17th. I got my receipts, Flea. So I just want to laugh at all the about to be the Kyrie Irving fanatics and the yo, I told you and all this nonsense. But, you know, once again, this was expected. When you have two players like that and then you fill that roster out the correct way, this is what you're going to get. When you have two guys that can do what they can do with that skill set, it's supposed to be championship or bust. And when I used to say these things, people thought I was crazy. Like I said, Luka and Kyrie together, they figured it out. They still trying to figure it out because last night, Luka, for the end of the game, wasn't having it. He realized, oh, shit, I got Kyrie over here. So, you know, I just want to say, Fabian, you know, you was wrong, my brother. I know you feel like SHIT. You owe Kyrie a big apology because Lord have mercy. You was on Kyrie neck, pause. So I can't wait to hear your apology, man. But I'm going to gloat about myself because ain't nobody else going to do it for me. I called this. Flea. I'm saying it. I called this.
So
just like I got to give Flea props for calling the Denver thing.
Yeah, you did.
But Flea wasn't finished with why I
Flea, holla at him.
Because it's been I'll have to go back to a video over a year ago when you guys were just like, what do you have against Kyrie Irving? And, you know, this always before I get there, just finish up because you got disrupted and just, you know, let me know or convince me why I should be apologizing to Mr. Kyrie Irving.
You want to hold on to the events that happened during COVID and during that whole thing in Brooklyn, which is fair. He has to be held accountable for that. But there's so much that went into that I've totally forgot about that. I'm over that now. Kyrie Irving is on the basketball court. He was on the basketball court last year. They did not play well. They were trying to figure it out. They did not play well. You went on to say that they weren't going to be good. Then you saw something, and as the responsible young man that you are, you came back and walked it back, right? That felt good to see you walk it back and say, whoa, hold on. I'm wrong about these dudes. So maybe not a full apology, but you should show some recognition. You should show some love. You should show some respect for what this man is doing. Most skilled. Yes. In your lifetime, one of the most skilled players you've ever seen. I'm not asking you. I'm telling you. One of the most skilled players you ever seen.
I don't want to leave Dom in the dust. I don't want to get too political.
Ain't no reason to.
No. But
ain't no reason to.
But I think that's part of the reason why, like, whatever happened in COVID, you cannot overlook any of that. I want to have a real conversation. I've never talked about anything but basketball when it came to Kyrie Irving, and everybody else does. Point blank, period. Now, to your point, the only reason why I owe him an apology, I owe all them dudes an apology, because when he got there, I compared him going to the Mavericks to Allen Iverson going to the Nuggets, and I was taking a victory lap. See, they had the tank and everything. You guys don't know basketball, don't know nothing. So for me, I gotta apologize because, damn, they're in the finals after tanking. This has never been done in the history of the NBA. Nobody's saying this. It was barring a miracle from the Timberwolves. That guy Finch, I don't know what he's doing with Gobert on him because we're gonna break down the game in a second. Dime Drop is in the building. Somehow I'm resurgence. I'm resurged over here.
Big down, never the little one.
We'll go get into the game in a second, but this has never been done before. So for me, just to end the Kyrie Irving thing, it was never personal. I ain't no damn Stephen A. Smith. I ain't doing what he did to Jalen Brown. That's foul. I never made it anything about. I defended Kyrie Irving during COVID for your information, Flea. So, and that's for everybody else. And that's what the awful part about it with Kyrie Irving is. We gotta also admit, bro, that's not the same guy. He came to the Dallas Mavericks and he said, yo, I wish I was drafted by them. Do you know what that means? He's saying, yo, I don't care about that championship. I'm at peace right now. Can you name any other superstar that can say that from the last decade? I can name none of them, including Steph Curry, who has to work with Draymond still. Ain't none of them at peace. KD's not at peace. LeBron's not at peace. James Harden's not at peace. Name every single super. Russell Westbrook. None of them are at peace. And Kyrie Irving actually achieved that with the Mavericks. So hell yeah, I owe him an apology, and I would never want to stomp on how he feels right now. The fact that he's helping out. You heard what Lucas said to him at the end of the game? Yo, bro, I'm tired. Kyrie said, yeah, you're supposed to be. That's how this is. What? That's the thing I was looking forward to with Kyrie Irving. Every time he spoke at that podium, I always commended Kyrie Irving because the one thing I hated was when he didn't talk. Bro, I love when you talk. When you talk the game, you talk about life, people need to hear that. They need to see you. You're damn near an icon. He's right there. He's the biggest superstar we've ever seen who can't dunk, really, right? Besides Steph Curry and who else? AI and them.
He can
in that realm.
No, he can actually catch alley-oops, dunk, and tomahawk and all that. He just don't do it.
Right, but I'm saying he took over the AI handle icon thing. AI was the logo of that. Now it's Kyrie. That's me. So I don't, regardless of what side we're on, if you need me to apologize just to show that guy love that just achieved all that, man, hell yeah, because that's what sports is about. That's what life is about. I love what I just saw. I love how I spun this too, Flea. That's how you spin it, baby.
You are. It's masterful work.
That was a spin.
How you spin your way. It's better than the Dominican bachata. Like, it is some beautiful footwork. Look at that spin move he just did. Look, and then you wave over it. Come here, baby. Like, it's nasty work. It's nasty work, yo.
Let's get Dom. Let's get Dom in.
Let's get Dom involved because I'm just Dom. We miss you.
Oh man,
I miss you.
It's the summer though, so now I'll be back.
Why do you look like you've been locked up for 2 months? What the heck? What the hell happened to you?
They tried to make me go to Knicks Rehab, and I said no. But dude, Dallas, I'm pretty impressed. I can't lie. You know what's funny? You guys are talking about Fabian like this, but he was the highest on the Dallas team post trade of all of us. I was a little skeptical. I've picked against them in every series, but I think I'm gonna honestly pick them to win the finals. I don't know what it is. I just think that Kyrie, we now know, like after all these places he's been and all the times he's had since Cleveland, it's kind of funny that we realized his best role is exactly how he started. It's being a second. He's a great Robin, perfect Robin with a guy that's like a playmaking, genius in terms of like Luka, LeBron, like KD and him. It was just kind of like two bucket getters. But I think KD honestly likes to operate a little bit like how Kyrie does. Like he wants to play make a little bit, but he wants to come off the ball, work quickly off the catch. Kyrie's just, I don't think Kyrie's that hard to play with when he's, that's like a kind of like a secondary creator. That's what he wants to be and just look to attack. This is the perfect role for Kyrie Irving. Like when it's all said and done, Fabian, you're right. He's definitely an icon in his own way with the handle, but he is a great number 2 on a title team. And that's, we need to stop, I'm not saying we like the 4 sportsmen do, because especially AllBall, he gives Pippen so many flowers. We need to give a lot of credit to these guys that have been such great number 2s. Even if he's not a great number 1, there's a lot of guys that have tried to be number 2s on a championship team and have failed. And he is looking like, now we can't say he's done nothing without LeBron. He is risen from the, people were like, yeah, how's he going to help this team and stuff like that. I think the main thing that not shocks me, but stands out is Kenny Smith might be right. They might have the 2 best closers in the league on the same team. It's amazing, the shot making, man.
Dom, the game is close. 5-point, 8-point game, 2 minutes left. You're done. Don't let the game be close with those 2 guys on the floor.
I was just telling my dad this. I think the Celtics are screwed if the games are close because they don't make me confident at the end of games at all. But that's why I'm kind of picking Dallas. And we have to understand too, like this, if the Dallas Mavericks do win a championship, like obviously I'm not a huge fan of them, but dude, they would be the only team besides Hakeem's second Rockets team to win 4 series as a lower seed. That's, you can't look past that. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Let me say this.
Go ahead.
If Dallas wins a championship this year, a lot of lists is going to have to be changed around. Let me explain. Detroit Pistons, Isaiah Thomas has 2 championships. Kyrie would now have 2.
Okay, but Isaiah was number 1 though, right?
Not
how much do you value that?
I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying this Dallas thing is going to change a lot of lists. Now it's going to be legit. Is Luka better than Dirk Nowitzki?
That's
You
a good
know,
one.
so for me, I just love where this is going to go. And then now, this is the one I'm going to hate, and I know Dom is going to hate this too. The Luka Larry Bird comparisons is going to get out of control.
With one championship, we've already comparing him to Bird.
No, not us, but Dom. Let's be realistic. They doing it now. So if he gets the championship and he gets the Finals MVP in a certain fashion, listen, man, it's going to get ugly. But I'm gonna say this: Magic Kyrie, Game 7 in Boston.
Oh my God!
Against the place he called what he did, and he hits down the knock down the shot like in Golden State, bro. That's a fairy tale ending. Hey, Flea, you can't make this up.
You can't script that any better. You know, you can't do that any better.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think the Celtics have ever lost a Game 7 in the finals at home. I think that's like, I don't think that's ever happened.
It's like sacrilegious, right?
Yeah,
it sounds like it might have happened one time. I think.
Can I
It never has, I don't think.
Can I show?
There's only 85 Lakers and the Warriors that just won 2 years ago. I think they're the only two teams to like actually seal the chip in Boston ever.
In Boston,
yeah,
that's wild. So that's never. It's been 8 years, guys. I hope we get a Game 7. That would be amazing. And just
can I ask y'all a question?
Go ahead.
If Kyrie wins this championship, where do y'all rank him as greatest point guards all time?
He's not a point guard.
That's another conversation. He's so non-traditional at all. Like he's not even traditional for today's era. He's like literally
his position says PG, y'all. Let's not do that.
You can't do that because
is Steph Curry really a point guard?
No, you're right.
You've had that conversation already. I don't have Steph as a point guard.
Okay, let me ask you this then.
God.
Would you say?
Go ahead.
Okay, how would you rank him relative to like a CP3? Because like CP3, he's been a second option and he's failed, but as a number one option, he was so much better than Kyrie Irving in terms of leading a team. Would you rank Kyrie Irving over Chris Paul because of that?
Yes.
Why would you say Chris Paul is a better leader than as a number one?
Because CP3 won several playoff series as number one. I mean, we won 50 plus games with him several years. Everywhere he's gone until Golden State, he's made them better. He got the Sun. He helped. I mean, he wasn't the number one in Phoenix, but he helped them get to the finals. Kyrie Irving as a leader, as a number one option. He's showing definitely some leadership qualities here. But like as a number one of your team, he was what the Celtics was very dysfunctional, and we realized that that's not really him. And then in Brooklyn, he got them to what like the 8th seed in the bubble, and that was that. But
I guess where I mess up, and y'all know me, is when we start doing player who's better and who's not. It's hard for me to like start adding in all the team stuff when we start ranking guys.
But they're so different though. How can we compare Chris Paul and Kyrie Irving? It's kind of less like Kyrie's a much better scorer. CP3 is a way better playmaker passer. CP3 is a better defender. Kyrie's so much better without the ball in his hands.
But then how do you have a conversation about who's better, Dirk Nowitzki or Luka Doncic?
I know it's the same thing.
How do you start having that conversation the right way?
Well,
exactly.
Can we start with this? CP3 is second, third year in the league, was top 3 MVP candidate. Like Kyrie wasn't that. It's just
he was the number one option. He got the New Orleans Hornets in a stacked West to 56 wins. I mean, that was pretty impressive.
Like that was Chris Paul was tough. Chris Paul, like before that knee injury, he was different, bro. Like that's something that
J Kidd.
So
he was teetering Jason Kidd.
For me, because y'all, my new thing is I make it simple. I ain't going through all that. God win 2 championships in this fashion. I gotta put him in top 5 greatest point guards all time. I'm sorry. If Isaiah Thomas is up there, why he can't be up there?
Because it's different.
Thomas is the lead dog.
It's completely different.
Thomas
I disagree.
It's completely. It's completely. If you're starting to start making it about a ring, if you're making it about rings, if you're gonna do that, then you got to compare the 2 rings. How did we get the 2? If we're gonna say if he's got 2 rings and you put him over Isaiah because you think he's just a flat out better player, then that's cool. But if we're talking about, okay, he got 2 rings and now we're gonna put him over Isaiah. Isaiah was the lead dog on all 3 of those championships, on all 3 of those teams that he could have potentially won 3 in a row. Okay. I can't ever see Kyrie Irving being the number 1 guy leading a team to potentially winning 3 championships in a row. I can't see that.
He You passed the second round.
Let's have this conversation just quick, fast. Everybody know if Kyrie and Kevin Love don't get hurt, we know if was a fifth, they would have won that. Let's not act like Kyrie wasn't the man who came back 3-1 and hit the big shot. So, and people say he could have won that finals MVP. So let's not act like he ain't been to a couple finals as well. Fabian, you can do that. You can do that all you want. But at the end of the day, come on, what?
LeBron James was insane. He was the best player in the world. He led in every statistical category, and he was a better defender.
Okay.
I think Kyrie. I'm not going to take anything away from what Kyrie did in the last 3 games. He was insane.
So who's your top 5? Who's your top 5 point guards right now? All time.
I actually. Well, are we counting? Here's the thing. Are we counting the Steph and Jerry West type, where people debate what they are?
No, it's your top 5.
All right, I'll tell you my. Go ahead, Fabian. I know my 5. My 5 is hard to crack, to be honest.
Of all time, I mean, it's typical Magic, Isaiah. Kid is in mine.
Okay.
Chris Paul kind of came out of that one.
He's not in mine.
Yeah, I mean, if y'all see, because it's tough. It's hard for me to say. When, like AllBall saying, like, yo, how you not gonna include Steph Curry? Like we all do. So you're gonna be the only one on the planet who doesn't, include him on the point guard list. And if you do that, then I definitely think Kyrie Irving is not top 5. Because once you put Steph Curry in there, it's like, bro, Steph Curry unlocked what it is to be a shooting small guy. Like, all right, you could do all that. You could get the handles down pat. You could finish down pat. But once I go off ball, that's the key to any scorer. It's over. So I got to put Steph in there. Damn. And Jalen Brunson, man, what you talking about?
He's not even the best point guard in Knicks history. I'm going to go. My top 5 is, if you're putting Steph, I'm going Steph, Magic, Isaiah, Jerry West, and Oscar. That's my 5.
Oscar's
tough.
Amazing, bro.
Probably no order. I'm gonna go Magic, Steph, Isaiah Thomas, Kid, and Stockton is up there for me.
Wow, you put Stockton over.
In terms of
there they go.
So mine's is identical to Flea's. But if Kyrie wins this, and if he just happens to get Finals MVP, I'm gonna be honest. Stockton, Isaiah Thomas got to go.
Wow,
I'm just being honest. Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry.
I think
it's absolutely ridiculous that that Damian Lillard is a top 75 player all time. Kyrie Irving isn't. I think that's just
politics.
I think that's absolutely ridiculous. It's basketball. It's a crime in basketball that happened. That should not be the case. I don't care how you slice it. That's just not factual. He is a better player than Kyrie Irving. It's not true.
But so, that's when they were really hating on him. The NBA kind of got to apologize to him a little bit for that. But I think AllBall could speak to that more because he was a big Dame guy. Like, how did you feel when you heard top 75 Dame is on it, but Kyrie's not?
That was bad. We know why that happened, and what I would have liked to see.
Fabian was on the committee. Fabian was part of that committee. He didn't want to tell us though. He was. But
what I would have liked to have seen is maybe Dame Lillard, not say nothing about Kyrie, but just maybe say, hey man, I don't think I deserve this. I love the honor, but come on, fellas, this is a little too early. But I did feel some way because it was just wrong. It was just wrong. When some things is wrong, it's just wrong. There's no excuse. We know why it was wrong, and we ain't got to go through all of that. It was wrong. Dame Lillard at this point is not a top 75 greatest player all time. And I'm a big Dame guy. It's not even close. I was so dead wrong. Dame Lillard is not better than Luka Doncic. No, he is not. Lord have mercy, was I so far off with that. And especially this season. Lord have mercy. So
Portland,
well, man, I was wrong. I'm not even going to dig a deeper hole. I was wrong.
Like Dame carried.
I'll real quick. I'll tell you why else they were wrong about it without even going into politics. Just strategy about how to choose these players. You want to respect Bob Cousy. You want to respect George Mikan. Okay, well, we got to respect the fact that Kyrie Irving and Bob Cousy do not look anywhere near the same as a point guard. And one of them is better. I don't care how they slice it. I ain't talking about career accolades, none of that. I'm talking about you look at them and you go, I'm taking that guy. No way I'm taking Bob Cousy over Kyrie Irving. Just I can project what Bob Cousy was. I know I'm not trying to disrespect them whatsoever. You can't JJ Redick me, Jerry West, because I'm not at none of them tables. But at some point, you got to tell yourself, damn, how do we judge and critique the guys who are clearly this is an all-time great now? Like Kyrie proved everybody wrong that ever said anything about him, even if he's just a Robin. To your point, who said a dime and all ball about Scottie Pippen? Look what the hell Scottie Pippen is going through ever since he retired. Like he looks like he's being tormented for being a Robin. And Kyrie Irving, that's
his fault.
Maybe Flea, okay, but
that's his
Kyrie.
fault.
But Kyrie couldn't accept being a Robin either. You know what I'm saying?
First.
Like,
yeah, he couldn't.
So now he's like, yo, I'm okay with that. I don't care what y'all got to tell me. Like I'm about to win again. So it doesn't matter. I think there's something to it. He's able to figure it out. But at the end of the day, he can't do that without being this nice. Bob Cousy could not do that in year 14. Stop it.
I didn't say Bob Cousy. I said Oscar Robertson.
Not you, but there's other guys on that top 75 list. I'm just pointing out Bob Cousy and how they want to just the reason for Bob Cousy and George Michael and these guys is to defend them, and it's honorable, but it's also honorable to big up Kyrie Irving. He's a super duper star.
Those two in particular, they're like pioneers of basketball. Like those guys, they changed everything. So I don't. They were on the original top 50. I wouldn't. If I had to pick guys to take off the list though, out of that, I wouldn't. I would put Dolph Shays and like Paul Arizin before I took Bob Cousy and what's his name? Oh my God, Peyton Pritchard just got kicked in the face. But yeah, before Cousy and George Mikan. Even though I do say that like George Mikan played in like the 50s where it was like all white dudes, I still think he was pretty like significant.
I just think it's lazy. That's all. Like it was just lazy of them to do that, and it was a
pop-up. Just keep the first 50 on. I mean, it's just hard. I mean, yeah.
No. Not forget keeping the 50 on. I'm saying, okay, you can do that, but figure a way to put this guy who's, come on, man, he transcends basketball. My girl knows who Kyrie Irving is.
We're saying this now after he's reformed and gone to Dallas and done all this stuff, but his stock was at an all-time low at that time.
I'll pass it to you, Flea. All right, they were the pioneers, and Kyrie helped keep it alive. Like, what are you talking about?
The 50 was done completely different than the way the next 25 was done. How they selected that. The 50, they did from the top 10 best point guards, top 10 best shooting guards, top 10 best small forwards, top 10 power, top 10 centers. Go look. I'm not saying y'all refuting it. I'm just saying if you go look at the top 50 players list, they went position by position. If you look at it, how they added the 25 was strictly off of this guy. I like this guy. It felt like it to me. It didn't have the same uniformity that how they did the top 50. If they did the next 25. A guy like Dwight Howard doesn't get left off that list. If they did the next 25 right, a guy like Kyrie Irving doesn't get left off that list. So, and I'm sure there's other guys arguable, like a Klay Thompson for some people. I'm not mad at people who say Klay Thompson should have been considered, but you got to be consistent. And how they did it for the top 50 in whatever that was, 97, they should have done it the same way. When did they do the 75? A couple years ago, whenever that was, or flip-flop. Just be consistent with how you making these lists.
The issue is though, Flea, if you're going to add 5 players from each position, the center position since 97 has been so weak.
That's true.
And point guard is very strong.
I agree with you. So it makes it difficult to make this list, but there's got to be some uniformity. And because you just said that can't be an indictment on Dwight Howard where he don't make it, bro. Like that can't.
I'm a Dwight Howard hater, but I would have probably put him on there.
There's no way.
I'm not mad he's not though.
Yeah, I'm sure, but there's no way. Like
I'm not messing with that dude.
Dom is the polished hater. He's professional. He's just the suit and tie on.
Dwight Howard, James Harden, JJ Redick, Rudy Gobert. It's like my Mount Rushmore of like I don't fuck with them at all.
I love it.
I know he wanted to hop off, or make it short, but Dime is here, man. Y'all could jump on. I'll be with Dime over all night. Yeah, I ain't pausing nothing, Flea. Me and Flea and Dime.
Yo, man.
But please, real quick, all ball. What do you think about the Dallas series so far with the Timberwolves? Besides the fact that you think it's over, what are you impressed by? And did they even supersede your expectations of them being that dangerous?
Well, I said, I knew they was going to be this dangerous, but I actually had picked. I thought Minnesota was the better team. I'm very disappointed in Ant-Man and Cat, especially Cat. Lord have mercy. Shoot too many threes. That coach is just getting out coached. Like, I'm very surprised that Dallas is about to sweep Minnesota. I really am. I thought this was going to be a great series, even though the games is good. But I thought this would go at least 6-7 games. Minnesota, they just not ready to take that leap. You know, Ant-Man, great. He's going to continue to get better. He has a lot to work on. I think this is the last year for Cat. I think Cat just played himself out of Minnesota.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm being honest. And also, they got to figure out what they're going to do with Rudy Gobert as far as like when to keep him on the floor and when not to. Because he clogs up the lane. I seen him post up the other day. I said, if they throw him the ball, I will cut the TV off. And they actually threw him the ball in the post. Lord, have you ever seen him try to make a move?
It's so bad, man. It's so bad. He has no left hand. His footwork is whack.
Oh,
you know, like that's part of the reason why. I mean, Dwight Howard obviously had much more skill than Rudy Gobert, but that's like my whole thing. Is like I just don't like bigs that are not super polished around the basket.
So just real quick, I'm not surprised what Dallas is doing. I'm more surprised that the series is 3-0. I'm really surprised. Like I really am. And I just hope Ant-Man learns from this because he has the potential to really be that dude. But Minnesota got some things to work out because, you know, it's tough when you right there and, you know, you come up short. But to be damn near swept, which I think they're going to get swept, I'm very disappointed. Very.
You think, Dom?
I think it's every game has been close, and Dallas is just a better team closing. We've seen you, funny enough, have said it all year about Minnesota in the clutch. They don't convince you, and that aged really well because Dallas has the best closers. I think all the analysis you can be thrown out the window with just this simple statement: the number one option is playing better than the Minnesota number one option, and the number two option is playing way better than the number two option for Minnesota. Both games have been close. You can't blame Naz Reid. Kyle Anderson's having such a great series. Gobert, for all the things we say, he's doing okay. He is who he is. Cat and Ant have lost to Luka and Kyrie, and literally like a 2-on-2. And the funny part is, I don't think McDaniels is playing bad defense. Some of the shots that Luka makes are ridiculous. Like he wasn't making these shots against the Clippers, and I don't even think it was Terrence. Like Terrence Mann did a good job, but like he was just missing. Like I don't know. Maybe he's healthier now, but it's unreal the way they're closing games. And that's why I always tell you, Fabian, it's why I always prioritize closing so much because this is all it is when it's close.
And the playoffs.
That's what I mean.
I've been big on you, Flea. All three of you guys up. You always remind me like, yo, playoffs, bro. I don't care about the regular season, and this is why. Go ahead, Flea. What you think? I'm sorry. Finish, Don.
It's just two killers right now playing phenomenal basketball. That's really what it is. It's two killers closing out each and every game. It is Anthony Edwards hitting a literal wall, right? He's hitting a wall. Hasn't been in this position before. All great players go through playoff series where, you know, everybody loves the word exposed, but for me, I'm going to use the word experience because he's going through some experiences right now that he's going to be able to take with him for the rest of his career, right? We can go back to all of our favorite guys. There are playoff series that we can go back to early on in their career and say, okay, he struggled there, or that's when it took a turn. And I think coming back this year, we'll see what the Olympics looks like, and then going into next year, I think we're gonna see a elevated Anthony Edwards. There's things that he can do in his game that's gonna make him being able to get baskets easier. When he gets a great mid-post game, I know I always talk about the mid-post. When he gets a mid-post game, he's gonna be amazing. As he continues to become a better shooter, he's still going to be great. Obviously, he's one of the best guys going downhill and, you know, getting in his bag. You know, he has a decent handle for his position. So I don't think this is a real indictment on Anthony Edwards. This is a horrible performance by Karl Anthony Towns, though. If you've been able to take the number 2, the B role, the Robin role, right? I think he's been amazing all season at allowing Anthony Edwards to be him. But a great number 2 realizes when your number 1 needs you, right? Every great number 2 can see, like, it's my time now, and he needs me. Like you said, pick. We could go through the list. Joe Dumars won a Finals MVP during the series.
Tony Parker.
You know, we can go through the list, right?
Yes.
When
Kyrie.
the number 2. We could say what we want. Shaq won 3 Finals MVPs, but go back to all those finals. When he needed Bean was there. Game 6, Indiana, Shaq fouls out. Bean finishes that game. Like
Jamal Murray for Joker. Like you said,
you know what I'm
it
saying?
can go
So
on and on.
Come on, OG. You know what I'm doing right now. So it's always a guy that says, my brother needs me right now. Let me be that guy. Kyrie in Cleveland. Braun needed him. I don't give a damn what none of y'all say. Braun needed him during that stretch.
Fleet, one more. Chris Middleton with that run with Giannis.
Giannis, like, you need your guys to step up and make big plays. This was the series that Cat needed to say, damn, my young fella, he don't got it. He's hitting a wall. He's reaching a point where he may be fatigued. He's running out of gas. He's 22 years old. He didn't pace himself, right? Now I'm the older player. Hold on. Let me be there for him. But I'm hunting threes. What did he shoot? 0 for 7 from 3 last night? 0 for 8?
Over 8.
I think he's 13% of season, man.
He was over.
He's just hunting. He's hunting threes, Don. He's not ever taking advantage of his matchup, right? And it's bad basketball. It just doesn't look like good basketball. And that's why they down. That's why they down 3-0.
He turned from being Robin to Batman to the villain. He turned into Two-Face.
Yo, listen, fellas. After the series against Denver, I was like, y'all better never put no smut on Cat's name ever again. I'm running around here like, take all that smut off Cat's name. He went crazy. Defending Joker well, scoring when he needed to. Like, them beating that Denver team, I was very impressed with Minnesota. So that's why I understand what you're saying right now, OG. The disappointment of them being down 0-3.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, y'all beat the champs and said that was y'all championship? Nah, it's not over yet. It's not over yet. So,
well, fellas, I know Fabe and Dom gonna hang on. I'm gonna get out of here.
OG.
Listen, I want to watch this funeral service. Listen, I'm gonna celebrate when Indiana gets swept.
I want them
because of what they did to my Knicks. Yeah, I take everything personal.
I want them to get thumped.
I want Dallas to lose too, but not really because of that. But
right. Well, Dom, good to see you, man.
And we'll talk more soon.
Big Dom.
Love my brothers, full sportsmen. We in the building.
All right, OJ.
Yeah, that 8th 3 that Cat took yesterday when they were down by 4 with 45 seconds left in their season, I was like, I couldn't believe he took that shot. But then I can, because there's the thing, man. It's like, this is why I always say the playoffs are just mean so much to me when I like rank players and like evaluate, is because all your flaws will come out in any era. All your flaws are always going to come out. The further you go, like, you'll be exposed. Like, you will be exposed. And the teams with the least amount of flaws and the players that can play against the best will perform and rise up. But that is why I value rings so much. I know it's a team accomplishment, but you got to do what you got to do in your role and at the highest level of basketball in the world, NBA playoffs. And that's why I really respect the champions and the guys that have won.
It goes back to what you're saying about closing, and which is Jason Tatum. He's still shaky in crunch time.
He is.
It just is what it is. But him and Ant-Man, to me, when you don't have that mid range, you can't have that bailout shot. If they get that, it's like I said from the middle of the season, it's over. What are you gonna do if Ant-Man's hitting elbow shots and then just performing from there, really being like Mike? There's nothing you could do at that point. But they didn't develop that.
Well, see, I think that Ant-Man has gotten better in the mid-range, but I just think a problem with these modern players is because of whether it's the analytics that's telling him to shoot threes and this and that. It's like they just don't hunt it. You know what I mean? It's like it's there if it's there, but like Kawhi and Kobe and even Kyrie Irving and SGA is a good modern example. These guys live. People were saying SGA didn't shoot enough threes. I'm like, okay. In my opinion, it was more that Jalen Williams wasn't quite ready as a second option just yet to create. But like, you gotta get. It can't just be threes and layups, or else you're limiting yourself. And I think yesterday Ant-Man actually did take more mid ranges, and it was good to see. I think, as you said, yesterday wasn't too much on Ant. The one flaw that you didn't mention, though, Flea, that I've really noticed about Ant in this playoffs, his passing needs to come a long way. He's throwing that shit out of bounds.
Yeah.
He's missing open players.
Nah, he's tired,
Not
bro.
quite like Dwayne Wade was back then in 06.
No,
He was
well, that's why I didn't understand the D Wade comparison, because the mid range.
I can't lie. I thought, because I saw him against Denver and I was like, yo, this feels just like Miami against Detroit in 06. Like we're seeing in front of our eyes.
You're seeing him grow. Yeah.
I know. And then
I thought
Dallas big fights, man. I guess Dallas was just a tough. You know what I noticed though is that in the first two series, and maybe this was a flaw in Minnesota's offense the whole time, is that they played against these centers, Nurkic and Jokic, who are like these, European, non-very athletic centers, and they don't really protect the rim very well. But now that they have Lively and Gafford down there, and like shots around the rim are not really there, it's exposing that like if the three's not falling for Ant, how is he getting other baskets? And yesterday he got the mid range, but like it's just when you have a real rim protector, like damn, like I guess Minnesota's offense wasn't all that, and it exposed Cat. I mean, all this, and I was saying the same thing as you, Flea. I wasn't as adamant like we can't talk about Cat again because he hadn't won a ring yet, but I was just like, man, he's looking like he's proving me wrong. And then he just went back to showing me every single reason why I was saying to AllBall when he was saying trade Randall for Cat. I'm like, when you have Cat on your team, you're gonna get just as annoyed, if not more, because of this shit. So I don't know about Cat. Like maybe he needs to be a third option on a championship team. I don't know. He can't be a second option. I know he's gonna grow from this, but how much could he grow? Can he grow enough to be a second option on a chip team? Because I think we need to really give credit more to these guys that have been second options on chip teams in NBA history. That is not easy to do.
He doesn't fit the bill.
And I just, at some point, y'all got to start taking this personal. Like, I watched him after the game last night. I don't like, maybe it's me. I have to be honest, it's me. But I don't like cats doing all the grinning, and I seen your whole 32, and it's all of this laughing and giggling, and this shit is just not falling. Like, sometimes there's got to be a sense of urgency. You down 3-0. You down 3-0 right now. You're in the presser, they're asking you questions, and you look like you're having fun. I'm not saying that this game ain't fun. I'm saying that you are one of the leaders on the team. You are one game away from elimination in a round that you can advance to the NBA Finals, and it's not bothering you that you're not hitting shots?
Everything he does, even when he's driving to the basket, he starts at the three-point line. It's like, dude, okay.
Everything.
So you're going to make your life so hard. And this is so frustrating because at Kentucky, he was literally a demon in the post. He still has moments where he shows you his post game. I mean, that's
it. That's it for him and for Tatum. Tatum is 6'10" and he plays like he's 6'3".
Yeah, it's Paul George stuff.
Every shot is the toughest shot.
I know.
Every shot is a step back. Every shot is a tween, step back, side step. Everything is such a tough bucket for him.
Now,
go just as easy.
As you were saying that, he just shot a really tough shot with his left hand, but he made it.
The left hand layup that he just made was a tough bucket.
I know, it was extremely hard.
But it's a tough shot.
Extremely.
Make your life easier, please.
Yeah.
It reminds me. I've always compared him to Paul George to me, and he's I've compared him to Paul George, T-Mac, and even Lamar Odom. Like Lamar Odom, for you just to remind me of that left-handed layup used to be so slick from Lamar Odom because it was like, bro, it was so smooth because he was 6'11", and how can you stop that? Imagine if Lamar Odom played today, he's gonna average a triple-double. So all these numbers everybody keeps bringing up with Jason Tatum to me, it's like, okay, he's nice. Do not get me wrong, but there's another level he has to unlock. And if he does that, like I said, it's really a wrap because the Mavericks, they got two guys, they don't play them games. And what I was saying when I saw the trade, I'm like, bro, they could beat anybody. You can't just have two guys like that with high IQ, could score like that, and now are getting along. They've never shown that they had any beef whatsoever. I overlooked PJ Washington. I overlooked him. I absolutely overlooked him. I thought Gafford was gonna bring this other element that would almost start like an argument between the two. But what I wanted to say earlier, Flea, was, yo, Derek Lively can pass.
His
He
short
can
roll
pass.
is really
He's a very
good.
good player.
That's why when you say Hartenstein is, I understand where you were going, but I think Lively he might turn out to be a better fit than Tyson Chandler in this era.
You see what he just did?
Yeah, that's much better.
That.
Much better. Take advantage of the little dude. Go right into his chest.
Do that. I'm sorry, Fabian. I'm sorry. Like, do that, Tatum. Are you kidding me?
What did he do?
He took two dribbles and put his
rammed right into his chest. Yeah. Little
Ben
boy.
Shepherd, move. Get out the way. And one.
Let's go.
Gotta put the game on. Wow.
That's Jesus Christ.
He had to compete.
And I don't think you can tell, like, the Dallas Mavericks identity was going to be a rim roller, and then you have two guys that figured out on offense. And it's not just they're figuring it out on offense. They're two crunch time players. The shot clock's winding down. And that's why I think when we say, is Kyrie Irving a number one option? And I go, not on this team. He can't be, because, all right, it's arguable who's the better scorer between Luka and Kyrie. And if you want Kyrie, cool, no problem. But when it comes down to it, Luka can make passes that nobody can make. Only Joker and LeBron, maybe. That's it. So that makes you the number one option. Why would I rather give Luka the ball than you? Because for 48 minutes, we're going to have a better play for the team. Kyrie, with 4 seconds left, he's a magician. So, yeah, of course, gun to your head, I need a shot right now. You give it to Kyrie before Luka, in my opinion, from anywhere on the court.
I do think Luka's a better scorer, though, because of his size.
Fellas, I don't
jump out. All right, Flea, good to see you, bro.
They Flea.
Big Dom, Fabian, my brothers. I'll talk to y'all soon.
Yes, sir.
So they got my apology, Dom.
Well, you were the highest on Dallas, though, after the trade. I do remember that. We make so many takes. Some are good, some are bad. But, dude, man, I'm actually rooting for the Celtics. I can't believe I'm saying that, but I want them to win because there's a couple of agendas I got writing on this. Make me look good.
Against the Pacers or
no, against the Mavs.
Oh, nah. I want to see Luka expose Tatum, or I want to see Tatum.
I like Tatum more, so like that, because I remember I went to school there, so like Tatum and I are like the exact same age. He's the best player of my graduating high school class, and I remember my first game when I went to TD Garden. It was like his rookie year, like 2 months in. I was like, dude, this guy's gonna be special, and I got his like shirt from the store. I said, one day he's gonna lead the Celtics to a ring. This decade, oh no, not right. The next decade, the 2020s, he's gonna lead the Celtics to a ring. So, that's what I want. And also, if the Mavericks win, there's several things I don't like. One, I don't like that heliocentric ball.
But this is not just heliocentric basketball. Like,
well, it's like
hold on. So,
wait. Yeah, go ahead.
So no. This is considered heliocentric with like James Harden and Luka are heliocentric ball players.
I think so. I think like it's just like how he has one other guy to defer to, though, as in Chris Paul / Kyrie. Although Kyrie is just so much. Well, listen, this guy unknown, F Boston forever. You're probably a Knicks fan. I'm from Los Angeles, and I'm not a Laker fan. So like, I get why the Knicks would not want the Celtics to win. If I were a Knicks fan, I would not want the Celtics to win. But my team lost to Dallas. Luka annoys me, and also if the Mavericks win, then the Clippers are just going to be even more like naive and be like, oh, we lost to the champions without Kawhi. We're not that far away. Like, no, you're completely far away. Don't fool yourselves. And then I love Drew Holiday. Like, that's my guy. You know what I mean? I've really pushed his agenda to the Harden fans' faces about how, like, he's just teams. There's a reason why teams value him so much more and why the market for Drew Holiday was high versus Harden was low. And then also my top 3 seed agenda. Here's what I don't like, Fabian. If Dallas becomes in that class with the 69 Celtics and the 95 Rockets, they're still one of only 3 teams to ever win a championship as lower than a 3 seed. But then there's going to be more teams next year. They're going to be like, oh, well, Dallas won as a 5 seed. All we got to do is be healthy and just like let it play out. And I don't like that, especially for my team, because they're going to already go back to Kawhi load managing because of the inflammation. So,
well, anybody who has that mindset is already, they are what they are. Like, I wouldn't say loser, but they all do that. Like LeBron and them did that. I'm not sure if remember Kyrie and them tanked last year. Forget about 50.
Derek Lively out of it, so they was worth it.
Right, but what I'm saying is that tanking is thought to be a loser thing.
Right.
Like, so it just depends on, like, it might be smarter. Shaq was talking about that.
I want us to tank.
Huh?
You know, I want us to blow it up. Like, I just,
Oh,
yeah, that would be my thing. And also, you know, I just,
yo, Dom, you're stuck. You
I
talking
know.
about you re-signed Kawhi? He did that was I told you that's a mistake. You don't do that.
And I agree with you. I know. It's just I just think that there's so many reasons why I don't want them to win. The only thing I have to put up with is my Celtic fan friends from college are gonna be so annoying. But like, it is what it is. I gotta put up with it. I also am just so pro Tatum. Like, I just root for him, but like not that hard. I'm not tripping either way, but people are gonna come at me and go, "Oh, I thought you said we had to be a top 3 seed to win a ring." I'm like, okay. So like, you want to use one of 3 teams in the history of the game. Like, I just don't think it's gonna happen for the Clippers, man. I just don't want to shortcut the process. But also, one thing you got to remember about Dallas, they made a huge midseason trade, just like the Rockets had Drexler in the midseason. It's not just a typical 5 seed.
So the 95 Rockets that's the Drexler trades. The season before, they weren't a high seed though.
They were top 3. I know.
They were the 3rd seed though. They weren't number 1.
I'm just saying top 3 was my criteria. Just get top 3. That's the cutoff, clearly.
Okay, because 95, I know this from the top of my head. Without looking it up, the Rockets were like they were a record. They broke the record for the amount of wins that they tallied up to start a season. That season. So they may have been the number 5 seed or whatever, but they were like 15-0. They came out smoking.
They have a major slump or something.
They must have had, because back that whole Rockets. I really want to look into the Rockets and really Hakeem Olajuwon, because there is something to LeBron fans starting, that Jordan fanboy thing, chill out. Like, so nobody was better at all. Like, there was no rules. They didn't put the rules towards him. He didn't have any help whatsoever. And the other thing to me is, Hakeem Olajuwon? Are we really sure in 93, 92, Jordan is just flat out better than a center, a two-way center who could guard everybody? That makes no sense to me. Just logically. I want to go back and watch. Okay, Jordan could score 60, but you ain't stopping David Robinson. You mean you're more valuable to the league than that?
It would be really interesting to go back and watch those Sonics Rockets series from back in the day, because I know Houston struggled with them with Seattle. That's what Kenny always says. I really wonder what that was all about.
Yeah, well, no, because remember, they have Robert Pack, if I'm not mistaken. They had like the 3-guard team. Detlef Schrempf was there. No, they were amazing. Remember, Sean Kemp
was on the Sonics? I thought he was on the Nuggets. He was on the Sonics too?
Schrempf?
No, Robert Pack. I know
Robert Pack was on the Sonics at a certain point. Oh no, they went to the Nuggets when they beat this. No, they went to the Nuggets when they beat the Sonics.
Right.
Everything's conflated. But the Sonics were just
one day we got to do a deep dive on those Sonics teams. Those are really intriguing to talk about.
That's why I hate George Cole. That's why I hate him. You can't don't talk about basketball, bro. You sitting there and you made a mess out of the Carmelo Nuggets. They're talking about it right now.
Dude, I'm just a huge fan of the game. Like, I just was so curious about like stuff before my time, because I was born in 98. So like, think of how much great ball I missed. Like, it's just sad, like I'm from Los Angeles and like I hear all these stories about Showtime and I just like didn't get to see it. I hate it because I love Magic. It's like my favorite. That's the only player like I'll legit stand like and defend over anything, because I think No,
and you have footage on for the things that you hear about, the mythological things you could look back on. We didn't have that.
If anybody wants any footage of Clyde Frazier and the old Knicks from the 70s, like hit me up on Twitter. I'll send you everything I have. Like I have so much stuff on them, tons. Clyde Frazier, but that's why. See, I can't wait to watch John Stockton and see if he's actually better than Clyde Frazier, because Clyde Frazier legit. I know Flea always gets mad at me when I say this, but like for his time, he legit has like no holes in his game at all. Every time the Knicks need something, he comes through. Every time I watch, it's like ridiculous. I can't believe it. And then he defends other elite guards. But that's what's amazing about your team is like he can go and guard like the best player, and then you still have like Dick Barnett and Willis and those other guys to like carry the load. Not carry the load, but like, help him out.
He's a little like if Kyrie was 2 inches taller, but even he didn't have a handle like Earl the Pearl and Kyrie. Even he would say that. But
he's the one thing I'll say about Clyde though, he's the first player in the whole beginning of basketball that I've seen like hit behind the backs like and use him effectively, not just to show off. He hits behind the backs into pull-up jump shots, and like it's like clockwork. I've never seen anything like that at that time, because back then it was like known as flashy and stuff, but he was so effective. I love that's
So-
what I mean. Me, I'm like a Clyde Frazier, like big time. Like I need a Knicks 10 jersey like this summer.
So the Dallas Mavericks may obliterate your thought and your what's the word when you don't move, you don't budge on something. Your philosophy, your
It's just you know what it
top
is,
three
man.
seed, right?
It's
Wait,
not
wait,
even,
wait.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Go. I was just gonna say, like, it's not that I think you have to be a top 3 seed to win a ring. It's just that I want the Clippers to, for once, show some like regular season dominance. You know what I mean? That's all I want. Because we never have home court in the second round ever.
You know what? That makes sense because of the way we fought for the 2 seed. The Knicks fought for the 2 seed.
You got banged up, man. Like you guys are beating Indiana. Like
Right,
Knicks were impressive.
But at what point does the competitive switch hit and then we put the competitive mode into simulation? Like when are we going to put that to the test? So for you, it's like I understand your frustration. If you can't make it to the 3 seed, what are you guys doing? This much talent and we can't do it. So I can see why you're frustrated about that.
It's just we were the first seed in the West, 49 games into the season, and then we completely fell off a cliff because our players are old. And then today I see a rumor that the Clippers are interested in Kyle Lowry or Chris Paul. Like, are you guys insane? Like, am I being punked? Like, you want to get older? I just think honestly, like, I know this sounds really harsh, but I want the worst for the Clippers right now. Like, I want them to lose every single game so that they trade everyone. Like, I want to completely start over, get all the picks you can. Like, this is depressing, man. My franchise is being held hostage by Kawhi. Like, everybody talks about, we need to do this, we need to do that. You know what we need to do? Our best player needs to stay healthy for once in his life for us. That's the biggest problem with our whole team. Until you address that issue, there's nothing else to talk about. He is a problem. And it's not even it might not be his fault. I don't care. He's still making $50 million. And I'm sitting here every single year disappointed, losing my love for the team. I'm not even renewing my season tickets. I told you that.
We were on the Dime Dropper live. We were reacting to the Pacers series, Pacers versus Knicks series, and we were, giving our 1-2 on that. But you just mentioned that the Dallas Mavericks may break your idea of needing to be a top 3 seed to be a contender in this league for the NBA championship, which makes a lot of sense, has a lot of validity, historically speaking. But the other thing that you said, or that you think, you believe, along with a bunch of others who, of course, we're NBA historians, and it makes a lot of sense, is Jalen Brunson a 1A?
Time will tell. Right now he's looking great. Well, it depends. Are you talking about 1A on a championship team or like 1A to go to the conference finals? Because I'm not denying that he could do that. I just think winning a championship is really hard at that size.
Well,
one guy.
You guys laughed at me after Randall went down. Julius Randle goes down, and I go, I'm not worried. We got OG Anunoby, right? And I'm saying we have enough to compete against anybody, especially out in the East. And it surprised you, regardless of the fact of where we stand. I think now is pretty much. I don't know how anyone can really argue with the fact that we would have at least competed with anybody's mind with the Pacers. We had to have beaten them, and then with the Celtics, that has to be a competition.
Yeah, it would have been.
And then the only team that I feared secretly was the Dallas Mavericks because Kyrie Irving single-handedly destroyed us in the regular season, and the Mavericks didn't even have Luka Doncic. But I digress. Jalen Brunson, if you see now, I don't know if what I was trying to say during the regular season was, hey, you still need to surround any 1A, any player with the right complementary players anyway. And I believe he has that. They're well balanced. And those other teammates, they provide everything that Jalen Brunson can't perform. He's just not capable of playing defense, rebounding, blocking shots, none of the other stuff, even passing the ball. He's not really much of a facilitator. You kind of gotta rely on the rest of the team to maybe not give him the ball and push him to start going off ball. But he's still such a great scorer and to me a great player that he fits the 1A bill. Even with Kyrie doesn't have that. Kyrie doesn't have the leadership skill.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the.
I agree.
What is the difference between him and Kyrie? Aside from skill, because there's got to be something to make you think, damn.
Yeah.
Because to you, can Kyrie win? Kyrie can't win as a 1A.
I don't know. I think it's like the command of a game that Brunson has is amazing. I think also it's the way he's able to, at his size, like frequently get into the paint in the mid range. Like he'll post up and stuff. Like I know Kyrie can post up. He doesn't go to it as much. The way Brunson, I think, you know what I think it is too? Brunson's better in the pick and roll. I think because today NBA is such a pick and roll league now. And Kyrie's like, he's decent in it. But Brunson, he makes the right reads to me. In drop coverage, Brunson will kill you. Like, he'll actually kill you. He's just the way he just, his stop and start. Like, he's so crafty. I really like Brunson. But yeah. No, I know. Listen, you say Kyrie loves to post up, but I disagree with you. I think he's good at it, but how many times has he posted up in this entire playoffs, dude? Yeah, he stopped doing it. So what does that tell you? I mean, Brunson does not stop posting up. He gets a good high percentage shot. For a guard, he can work his way in and get a high percentage shot.
Kyrie's not going to be posting up the Minnesota Timberwolves on a set play with crossing half court and Jason Kidd's calling a post up with Kyrie Irving. He's going to get fired on the spot. But so you think Jalen Brunson, just to get an answer, you still do not believe Jalen Brunson is a 1A on the championship team?
No, I'm not going to believe it until I see it with a small guard. It's not just Brunson, Donovan Mitchell, Trae Young, Tyrese Halliburton, all of them. That's how I feel. I do agree with Becky, but we'll see how it goes. I like Brunson, and as I said, I like the Knicks. I'm a sympathizer, but that is how I feel. But I do think this: you have the right team around Brunson as a number one, like to see what you can do with him.
That's the other thing. Kyrie never got a group of his friends from college to come to the NBA with, and they were all good NBA quality players to play alongside either. So that's tough.
I don't feel bad for Kyrie, though, in that sense. He had Jason Tatum, even though he's a rookie. He's a really great rookie. He had Jalen Brown. He had Marcus Morris, Gordon Hayward. He had a bunch of good players. Chauncey Billups was not the clear-cut number one, though, man. That team was by committee, the Pistons. And I don't think Tony Parker was a clear-cut number one either. And I love Tony Parker, too.
Yeah,
but Jalen Brunson is so clearly your best player. Like, that's why I say that. Yeah, you have to rely on him a lot. You know, Jalen Brunson, he led the entire playoffs in dribbles per game and time on the ball. Because you had to have it happen, but still.
He led the regular season with that, too. That's just who he is. That's why I didn't like what he was doing. But that game 7, as soon as we came out, I didn't like the first quarter because of how he was playing. At least, though, we can say you came, showed your face, and answered the Jalen Brunson questions.
I'm not afraid.
Becky Hammond is still hiding. We have not gotten a quote from her. Where's she at?
She's coaching the Aces right now.
Listen, she's out there. I've seen all her little Aces commercials and little funny snippets she be doing her little teammates and everything. No, you could take 5 seconds and go, you know what? I was still right about that Jalen Brunson thing. Something to be funny about that. I would respect that. I would definitely respect that.
Again, it's not a Brunson thing. It's just the smaller guards. I think it's hard for them to get good shots throughout the course of a postseason. It's hard to rely on it, but we'll see how it goes. Definitely. But yeah. All right, Fabian, I'm gonna watch this second half.
Time to go. Hey, we went from Knicks Rehab to 4 Sportsmen.
Yeah.
Tom Dropper from the Raptors. Ain't no games out here, man. We out of here. AllBall TV. AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.